So what's up? How you doing today? In this video, we're going to look at sixths and how they can add a whole new dimension to your playing. We're going to look at the Grateful Dead's version of El Paso and how to apply sixths to that. So let's first give it a listen, and then I'll break down what's really going on. So a sixth is simply a type of interval. And what an interval is, it's just the distance between two notes. So you can be very, very close, like this, or very far away, like, I don't know, this. I don't know what that is, but that's very, big distance. So a sixth is a particular type of interval. And when you go up the major scale, when you get to the sixth scale degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's based off that. And there's two types. There's a major one and then a minor one. And then based on where you're playing it, the shape can change. We're not going to get into all that kind of stuff. We're just going to keep it real simple for this. We're going to look at, again, El Paso, and that's in the key of D. So we're going to look at the D major scale, and that's going to be on this string. We're going to go D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, back to D. And we're going to put a sixth below that. So that's going to be a distance of a sixth down to here, and that gives us to an F sharp. So it's like, here's your D chord, and then we're going to go to E and put a sixth below that, but it's going to be a different one, this shape. And again, we're not going to get too into this, and you don't want to rattle your brain thinking about this too much if you're not used to it. Just to know that the shapes make it so that the other notes, the sixth below, are going to be in the same key. So we're using the same scale still. So they have to change. So we have this one for the first one, this one for the second one, same one for the third one, back to the first shape for this one, and that fits it all together. Now, if you're trying to play this right now, you might be like, how am I playing this if you're not used to it because it's got a string in between? So we can lean over on purpose like this if you're using a pick. And it's not the cleanest way of doing it, but it's a way of doing it. Or we can use, as I've shown many times before, hybrid picking. So we're using our pick and one of these two fingers. Pinky you could, but probably you don't want to do that one. So one of these two. And we don't have to play it at the same time. We can also go back and forth. And if you're doing that, you can, of course, just use your pick. Or we can go just full on finger style and use our thumb for the lower one. So it's up to you. So experiment around. But we've got those two shapes, this one and this one. So it really thickens up, your melodies. It's typical when you hear vocal melodies, people singing. Sixths aren't quite as common as, say, a third, but different types of intervals, singing above or below, sometimes both. Different harmonizing instrumental melodies. I mean, it's a big part of the Allman Brothers sound, playing in different intervals, the two parts that work together into forming that sound, and that things up. So we can do the same thing on our own playing, And to get a really more southwestern and kind of country sound, you can also, anytime you get the two shapes, the same shape, 2 frets apart, I should say, throw in between. So there's so much you can do. You could, go like that. I'm not just playing it, I'm playing down below, sliding up, and then playing that. You can do the next one here. So many things we can do. But for now, if it's new to you, just get familiar with these two shapes and how you're going to attack it with your right hand, whether it's going to be picking fingers or just fingers. But I've got a backing track for you to try it out. Don't worry about too much about the chords. They move fast. Just, use your ear and just keep experimenting around. And after a while, you'll figure out which ones sound good with which chords at any particular moment. But they move fast, so don't worry about that too much. So mess around with it, add it to your repertoire of sounds, and have fun. I'll see you in the next video.